yeah, big thanks to the Dale and Carol and the whole Roundhouse team for working there, working pretty hard to make it all available to us. Big thank you to Southern Short-Haul Railroad. So they were the only operator that actually come to the party, made it happen. Admittedly, other operators are busy with the wheat season and couldn't find diesels available, so as SSR, and they still made it happen to provide us with locos. Big thank you to Oxygen Models, who've donated locos to our raffle as well, so make sure you get some raffle tickets. And the gang from Seymour especially, so we made arrangements with the gang from Seymour. They brought up 30322 and 3357. Now some have been wondering and don't realise is that they're wondering why there's hood units here. So we're running short of Streamliners, but EMD, who provide the engines for the majority of these locos, are actually celebrating 100 years this year. So we're helping celebrate that with them through Progress Rail. So a big thank you to Progress Rail, they've been absolutely enormous. Big thank you to the gang next door at Rail First Asset Management. They waived all their track access charges for us and let us trundle through their backyard to bring this stuff here and put on display. Now, the Streamliner 22 crew, well, Streamliner's crew full stop, and Paul Proctor and Andy Goonpan and his wife Penny. Paul Proctor and his wife Ingrid, because Ingrid's like the best fruitcake maker in the whole world. Unfortunately, they're moving to New Zealand soon, so we're going to be out of fruitcake. And Chris Walters, your programs that you're looking at there was all designed by Chris, and he's done some amazing work, and he's certainly gifted in that area. Motive Power Publications for printing and all those, and also supporting the event. So if I've missed anyone, I do apologise, but oh yes, and a big thank you to Angela Remington from the Goulburn Council Tourist Centre. She has absolutely been amazing. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Mayor Peter Walker, and he can officially open SL22.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look, something that really kind of concerns the Goulburn community a lot is the roundhouse here, and the way that we do struggle to actually get funding to look after it. This is a pristine area, I believe, and heritage-wise, and it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal part of Australian history. Goulburn in particular, it was the icon of the rail industry for a long time, and we believe it's still got the ability to do that. I know progress takes you away, and we've got to move forward, and with the Central Rail going out around the middle of New South Wales, that's part and parcel. But here, and a big shout out to the locals, the boys and girls, the men and women that come up here day in, day out and volunteer to upgrade and monitor and potter, and the amount of hours that they put in, and obviously their own money and the likes, is very relevant. Now you've only got to have a look at the Streamliners and have a look at the condition of some of these, and they are just magnificent as well. I asked the guys where they come from, and they said there's about 6 of them out of Victoria and Junee and all those places. When I was young, Goulburn, Junee, Cootamundra, Albury, they were iconic as far as these trains. And I think to showcase and the amount of effort that you guys have put in to make sure this history doesn't die and continues on for a long time to come, we talk of 100 years for this group or that group or whatever, we need to be talking about 200 years, 300 years, and these things are iconic. You kind of, I'm not going to get political here, but you look at importing trains and all from other countries, not to mention any names, when we can build these kind of pieces of equipment that are, some of them, in as good a condition as they were when they were built 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. So, you know, I think we need to make sure that people are aware, they know there's a lifeline here. History's a great part of Australia, even though we're only in our infancy stage. But days like today and weekends like today don't happen overnight. And I think a lot of you people, I just checked your number plates out. Oh, no, I'm not a copper. Checked your number plates out when I came in, and a lot of travel, which is good. So the enthusiasm's there. We do thank you for, again, coming back to Goulburn. We do believe we're going to advocate for this to be a very big rail heritage opportunity. And thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the weekend. Bit of a sales pitch. Don't forget Lilac Time's up in Belmore Park. If you don't know what that is, it's one of the longest running festivals. So there's plenty to do around Goulburn today. Spend your money here. Make sure you look after the people. And again, to our local volunteers here, thank you from the community. You're doing a great job. And thank you for bringing the Streamliners back to Goulburn. Thank you.
All right, so we will now consider SL22 officially open. Thank you.
Welcome to Streamliners 2022, a festival celebrating Australia's streamliner locomotives gathered under the one roof at the Goulburn Rail Heritage Centre. I've travelled over 600 kilometres to witness this event featuring 15 Bulldog nose locomotives alongside a variety of other railway related attractions. One of those including a startup of locomotive S303. We now turn our attention to the star of the show and the last built EMD Streamliner anywhere in the world, locomotive number CL17. Thanks to the efforts of a group of passionate volunteers, the locomotive formerly known as CLB10 is currently in its 4th year of being restored into its original 1972 condition under the name CL17. Under the roof of the Goulburn Roundhouse is Tony Kosciuszko's 7.25-inch gauge locomotive CL9, named after former Australian Prime Minister Gough Whitlam.
Always get the wrong key. These guys cut carriages and tracks.
Yeah, replaceable.
Well, this is the highlight of the show.
This locomotive comes all the way from Eltham, Victoria, found at the Diamond Valley Railway, where you can also find Tony's other locomotive, BL26. And the modelers don't stop there, with 3 more 7.25-inch Streamliners right outside, featuring locomotives B67, B84 and A66. These locomotives appear at various miniature railways, mainly found in Victoria. The event was also adjoined by the Lachlan Valley Railway's ALCO 4473, running shuttles between Goulburn and Tarago. The train is currently shunting down the platform to wait for an Endeavour on its way back to Central in Sydney.
We'll probably get you later.
On the chase back to Goulburn, we managed only to get 2 shots at the Alco at Lake Bathurst and on the outskirts of Goulburn. We spend our dinner break back at the Roundhouse to watch the sunset over the locomotives as we await for the fireworks display after dark. This event was only made possible by volunteers, rail workers and enthusiasts who sought to commemorate the 70-year history of Streamliners and 100 years of EMD. Admittedly, Project SL22 was met with challenges, such as freight operators being unable to supply further locos for the event due to their ongoing drought relief duties and the grain season. And for the locos and volunteer groups that did make it, we get to admire the work of a 70-year-old legacy of these Australian workhorses.